All right, good afternoon. It's time for a brand new show here on SNSN. Unicorns for lunch. You thought the name the Norwich Sea Unicorns was silly. How about this show? Unicorns for lunch. Adam, any ideas? Any thoughts on the unicorns for lunch?
Unicorns for lunch?
We have a unicorn right here.
We have a unicorn right here, yeah. I mean, order deluxe. This is going to be good stuff right now. So I'm excited for this first one. So it's going to be awesome.
So we have our panel is myself, Mike Minarski, and of course we have Matt Lissy from Capital Property Group, and then we have Charles Ennis, pitcher from the Norwich Sea Unicorns. He's lunch, and Adam Plager at Play-by-Plager on Instagram and all socials. So Adam, you're actually the play-by-play guy for the Norwich Sea Unicorns, and tell us how did you get such a prestigious gig?
Yeah, it's been awesome. This is my second season with the team. I knew Kevin Murphy, who's now the director of player personnel, player development with Norwich. He was the field manager last year. His brother was the captain of our men's lacrosse team back at school at Lake Forest College, and he.
Just a little bit.
This better?
Yeah, no, pull it like to the side of your mouth. There you go.
There we go. Now we got some good sounds. But yeah, so Kevin Murphy, the director of player development, his brother Connor Murphy, he was the captain of the Forster men's lacrosse team, and he told me about the opportunity last season, and it couldn't have worked out better. A Futures League championship back-to-back, so looking to make it 3 in a row, and it's been awesome. Dodd Stadium, I couldn't think of a better ballpark to play baseball at and call some games from.
Yeah, Dodd Stadium, I'll tell you, I remember going there when I was a kid. Of course, the AA Yankees were there, then of course the Giants were there, then the C2 Tigers, and now the Norwich Sea Unicorns. So now, Matt, what do you? I mean, you're not a big baseball guy.
No, I'm not a huge baseball guy, but I used to go there as a kid as well. Back when they were, geez, what the heck were they named?
The Navigators.
The Navigators, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
when they first opened, we were going there.
Exactly. The place
Yep.
was packed.
It was always packed back then.
So
yeah.
I guess, what's the difference? What's the difference, today with the Sea Unicorns as opposed to, well, let me ask you. I mean, just being, a businessman in the area, and you're more of a golf guy, and a boat guy.
More of a boat guy.
Yeah.
I play whack. I don't know if I could say F on the radio station or not, but yeah, I usually play whack fuck.
Yeah, okay. So the cool thing about it is, do you notice any different? I mean, like as far as your interest in going to the park? I mean, when you go?
Well, it's always fun when you go. It's a good time. It's just the baseball's not my huge interest personally. As a kid, I used to love it.
Yep.
I used to play all the time as a kid, but now
Exactly.
it's trying to find time to get out there, and none of the kids really want to go see it either. So, and I think it was different with affiliations too back then.
Okay. Is let me ask you a question.
All right, let's go.
Is the play any different?
The play?
The level of play? I don't really. I mean, but like if I was going to go ahead, and I've seen the CT Tigers play, I think actually the level of play between the CT Tigers and the Sea Unicorns are better. I think you guys play a better ball game. They're like American Legion, for crying out loud. You guys are like your college kids, D1, 2, 3, whatever. Trying to make it, maybe try to get signed somewhere. So, like, how do you feel, as far as being on the Sea Unicorns and playing in this league?
Being on the Sea Unicorns, it's definitely a competitive summer league. Like, a lot of guys want to play in this league, and that's pretty evident in the play. You could just tell everyone's given full effort compared to, local league, because we have guys from all over the country on our team who come here,
Yep.
and their schools send them out here, and they go to good universities, and we have some D3 guys who are, local, just trying to work themselves up. So there's a lot of people in this league and on the Sea Unicorns especially just giving it everything they got. So I'd say the level of play is definitely really good for college summer ball.
Oh, absolutely. And Adam, one of the things that I think is really, really neat too, and keeps things fresh, is that the kids that come in and play, they come and go. Depending, because I know one kid that's playing Connecticut Crush right now that wants to come in. I don't know if he's actually going to come in, but he's going to a university in Connecticut, D2 school. So, but the kids are we just got Ducatelli back.
Yeah.
So why don't you talk about that?
Yeah, Antonio Ducatelli, he's going to be a good player for us. He just made it into the NCAA tournament at Central Connecticut. So like Chuck has said, you get Fairfield guys. They're a team that made the NCAA tournament. A lot of Division I guys. I think East Coast collegiate baseball is getting a lot better. You see Rutgers, they're in the Big Ten. 3 or 4 Rutgers guys on this team. But when I look at the Futures League, I think it's a league of opportunity. It's guys that are coming in that are playing for an opportunity. They're auditioning for spots. And now the transfer portal and college baseball is a huge thing. It's like free agency for pro ball players and guys that want to enter the portal. They have to play as if it's their last chance. There's no next inning. There's no opportunity. What if a scout's in the stands tomorrow on Tuesday when the Lake Monsters are playing against us and it doesn't go well? There's no commitment that school is coming back. So I think that's a big part of it. A lot of guys like you see Gio, he just transferred to Siena College, and see a guy like Jaden Novak, he just transferred to LaSalle. So there's a lot of guys that are into the portal right now that are playing in this league, and for them, it's every at bat, every pitch, it's a chance for them to showcase themselves, and I think that's why the level of play is continuing to increase, and it gets a little bit more intense as you go into the summer because portal's only open for so long, so you only have a small window to really showcase who you are and why a school should look at you and want you. And I think that increases the competition.
So, I mean, one of the things that I know is that there are kids, young baseball players that, in this collegiate league that have not only played in this league, but they've transgressed and made it to the major leagues. Yeah. There's quite a few. And I don't think people in the area understand that or they know that. They just, what I hear, Matt, and I don't know if you hear this. Well, there's no affiliation.
Yeah.
There's no major league, I mean, it's not like they're the Rocket City Trash Pandas or something like that out in California.
My cousin works there. Yeah, my cousin's actually, it's his first year with the team. That's actually hilarious.
At the Trash Pandas?
I'm not even kidding. Yeah, he just started working for him.
I got into an argument on social media yesterday because somebody said, well, Sea Unicorns is the stupidest name ever. And I'm like, really? And we're thinking yard goats?
Yeah, right.
Come on.
Show me a name that's good.
I know. I love
it's all fun.
You know what a trash panda is, right?
No.
It's a raccoon.
Okay.
It's a raccoon.
What is that? A Southern?
Huh?
Is that a Southern team?
Yeah, they're in the
no, Rocket City. You're in California.
No, they're in Alabama, but they're the Angels AA affiliate.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
So yeah, they're in the Southern League. But I think that's the best part about minor league baseball, summer collegiate baseball. Funny team names that you wouldn't see, like the Mud Hens, things like that.
Toledo.
Yeah, so you don't get that in Major League Baseball. You don't really get that in collegiate baseball, Division I or Division III. It's all about
marketing.
It's all about having fun, right? So this is fun.
So it's like the thing is like I don't go to Fenway Park because the Red Sox is a cool name. They make shit trades, but but still, it's not because it's got a cool name.
Yeah.
I go there because I'm a fan.
Yeah.
It's what I keep telling people. I said, that I talk to on a daily basis. You can't go or not go to a Sea Unicorns game because you don't like the name.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. It's there's another team called the Nuts.
Yeah.
That could go 10 ways to Sunday bad, right? But of course, and you know what their hashtag is? Butter up.
Butter up.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's what minor league baseball is all about. You need fun little things like that. It attracts fans, but I also think there's so many fun little attractions at Dodd Stadium. You got the kids zone wiffle ball area, the beer garden down the right field line, the Scoops ice cream bar. There's so many different things, but also you have way more access coming to a game at Dodd Stadium than you do at Fenway Park or whatever it is. And I think it's
affordable.
It's family entertainment that's affordable.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest thing about it. And you get so much more access, whether it's autographs from the players or whatever it is. You don't get that interaction anywhere else.
Yeah. So Matt, as a successful business person in Eastern Connecticut and extended through Connecticut in New England, do you see much in the name, or for example, like Capital Property Group, is really blowing up for you now, which is good. Paragon, which is this building right here, which is a work co-op, that we can see it right up on the wall up there. Do you see a problem in the name, like whether it's the Nuts or the Toledo Mud Hens or the Sea Unicorns that people wouldn't go?
I don't see that. It's a fun name. That's what they're
Yeah.
coming down to and trying to make it fun. And that's what it is. It's
I think
just
it's
a good
bitterness.
time.
I think it's bitterness. People
It
go, well,
probably
it
is.
has to be, some sort of major league affiliate.
yeah.
And I'm like, no.
It does. I mean, it's you go there, you get to see some college kids that are working their ass
Yeah.
off. And
I've been to like a CT Tigers game. I didn't go because I knew any of the kids or the players.
right.
I didn't. I went there because it was local baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
In a big stadium. And it's pretty amazing. So what is this like one of the larger stadiums that you've played in, like for your college career, or give us an idea where you like to play?
Yeah, so a little background, like growing up, kind of like you were saying, local baseball. I used to watch my local baseball at New Britain Stadium, and we play there this summer.
Rockets.
Yeah, I used to watch the Rockets.
Rocky the Rocket was a personal friend of mine. Serious.
Yeah, I had season tickets growing
Johnny.
up, so I was at every game. So I always dreamed of like playing in like stadiums like that. I played at Dodd in a couple tournaments in high school.
Yep.
And we didn't have like the clubhouse access and everything we got now, but it is one of the nicer stadiums I've played in. At college, I didn't play in any big stadiums this year, but I love it, and I love when it gets filled up on like a Friday, Saturday night, and there's fireworks after the game. It's good to see people in the seats. It gives us all energy, honestly. I feel like we play best on those Friday, Saturday nights when there's everyone there to see you.
Absolutely.
And you know what I mean?
And that's the thing. You guys want people to come out and see you guys.
Oh,
play.
yeah. We love the fans. Like, everyone on the
Yeah.
team, like, all the guys, there's no egos. Like, everyone takes their time to sign autographs for the kids. No kids or none of the guys on the team are going to say no to giving an autograph or taking a picture with the fans. We try to give out baseballs when we can if we have them. But, yeah.
You guys get pulled off sometimes during a game.
Yeah,
Because you're like, no, you're down here. No, just sign it.
Yeah, like, I've seen guys, like, in the bullpen, because I'm a pitcher, like, the kids will be like, can I get an autograph? And we're like, this guy's got to warm up. And he's still signing the autograph for him. So we love doing it for the fans and the kids. That's what it's all about.
Well, the thing is too, Adam, and I'm sure you can co-sign this one, is that like Ennis here, being a pitcher on the mound, so he's the center of the game sometimes. These players are superstars to these kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're at a big ballpark. They see the players. I mean, do you agree with that, or
100%? I think I was one of those little kids not very long ago, and when you see them playing, it's you want to get to that level at some point and be able to play in a venue like that in front of a nice audience, and it drives energy.
Yep.
Like Chuck just said, I think that's the best part about it. You sometimes don't get that at your college or whatever it may be, and you enjoy being the center of attention, and people want to watch you go out there and perform. And I think it's a lot of fun. I think that's the best part about it, that it's all oriented around our fans and the kids that are showing up to the ballpark. That's the biggest thing we want. We provide access that you otherwise don't have. Like Chuck just said, someone's getting ready to warm up, and he's like, sure, I'll sign a baseball or whatever it is. So it's a lot of fun. It's such an immersive atmosphere, which is a lot of fun, and all the ballparks in this league are all about that, which I really enjoy as a broadcaster. And when it gets loud on Friday night, especially during that seventh inning rally, that's so much fun. It builds up intensity, energy for me, because it means a little bit more. It feels a little bit bigger. So
seven? Nah, y'all gotta start hitting before you eat. And lately, it's like
in the dugout yesterday, coach was like making a joke. He's like, "Hey guys, just pretend it's the ninth inning." He said that in like the third inning, and then we just started hitting. So
you guys changed up the third base coach of the day.
Did we?
Yeah,
We might have. Yeah.
it was Ryan Hyde over there.
Yeah, and I looked. I
Yeah.
said, why? What's the other guy? Because the other guy, the normal third base coach.
Oh, Dembro, yeah.
Yeah, he was like playing with his eye, so I don't know if he got something in his eye or whatever. And then next inning, he didn't come out.
Yeah, you need two good eyes over there because balls are coming at you hot over there.
So I asked him. I said, "So why are you out here? Is the other guy okay?" And he says, "Nah, just trying to change up the mojo."
That's the thing. Like,
And you only got 5 runs.
Yeah, that's a baseball thing for sure. Like, guys will like to stand in a certain spot, do a certain thing, say the certain thing. Like,
Yeah.
we got a lot of mojo on this team, I'd say.
So this is the 30th season of baseball, right? 31 years they've been open. Am I correct in saying? Or am I backwards?
31st season of baseball, 30 years of Dodd Stadium. It opened April 17th, 1995. So I think that's like pretty special about this season too, is that it's the 30th year of having baseball at Dodd Stadium. I know last year was our 30th season celebration, but I mean, to be a part of such a historic ballpark with so much tradition there, I think that's a lot of fun, and the stories really tell themselves.
The story right now that is not a great story is the possibility that the city of Norwich is going to go ahead and sell the stadium to balance the budget. I got into a big argument with a guy yesterday about this on social media, and to me, if Dodd Stadium goes away, and not just for players like you, but the ones that are coming behind you, you know, when you're like warming up for the Phillies one night, you're like, hey, they're still playing at Dodd, yeah, you know. I just think it's
a temporary fix.
Thank you.
Not a long-term solution.
I can show you my texts, and that's exactly what I said to the guy.
It's a temporary fix. It's not solving any issues.
Yeah. You know what I said to him? I said, okay, so you're going to sell Dodd Stadium, balance the budget. And I said, what's next year?
Yeah.
Mohegan Park?
Yep.
You're going to sell that now too? It's exactly what I said to him.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything for you.
Yeah. I said it's a stopgap, you know, but it's not a long-term solution.
Right. Who pays for the upkeep of it? Is it the
I
team
don't really
or is
know.
it the
I'm
town?
assuming the team does. You know, I mean, Lee Walter would be the guy to ask about that.
I know. I mean, I know that as a tenant, it's all about trying to maintain the ballpark and making sure we keep it up to protocol. But at the end of the day, it needs the support of the city because you want the city to support the team that you call home. I think that's the biggest thing about minor league baseball, collegiate baseball, is that the city has to be all in and all about you, because the more filled that ballpark gets and the more in love the community is with the team, with the city coming to the ballpark, I think it's such a positive for the city of Norwich or for any minor league city that brings in the team as their own, and they find that team is a part of their identity. I think that's the biggest thing, and I hope, you know, through the Sea Unicorns being there and future tenants, maybe it's not just the Norwich Sea Unicorns, but down the line, more teams consider to call it home and be able to play baseball there and maybe find ways to make it work, but that they immerse themselves and they call that team their home team, and that they want to find a way to not just make it work, but make it profitable and make it such a center of attraction that when people come to visit this area, it's like, oh, we got to come to a baseball game as any other thing of
like Keith Folk.
Right, 100%. That's I
If
think
he
it's,
shows up. He comes and plays.
Yeah.
Keith Folk was the guy I hit who was a pitcher for the Boston Red Sox.
Okay.
And he's the one that closed the game out in 2004.
Okay.
Bouncer back to the mound.
Yep.
Remember it?
He was there last season, right?
Yeah.
So he was
Yeah.
So and then like we had guys like Jim Larrett's come for the All-Star.
He was there last year,
The All-Star game, and he came onto the broadcast and shared some of his baseball stories. Like for him, he was fouling through a summer baseball league, and I think that was his message to all the players during the All-Star experience is you never know who's watching you. And I think that's such a special thing, is like you don't know who's coming to the ballpark that day. And for him, it worked out where he was playing summer baseball, and some scouts watched him and they ended up liking him, and then he had some big hits for the New York Yankees in his MLB career. So you never know, and I think that's the best part about it.
The neatest thing, like he said, you know, about you never knew who's watching, right? So I'm last year I was running the camera just outside of the broadcast booth.
Yep.
So I made, you know, a bunch of friends, you know, a bunch of season ticket holders and stuff like that. I didn't squat, but you know, but still I'm watching and stuff. One thing I thought was really, really amazing, just to, you know, is you had during the All-Star game when Giovanni was pitching, there had to be 30 scouts. You want to talk about a spectacle? I got a picture somewhere. They're all with radar guns.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they're all scouting them.
Yep.
Not only him, but the other players too.
Right.
But there had, I mean, first there was 1, and there was 5, and there was 10. It's no joke.
Yeah.
You know, these scouts are not coming out because they want to make Dodd Stadium look good. They're scouting players that they may want to sign.
Yeah.
Right.
You know? So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that was awesome. I think I don't remember the count, but there were MLB scouts
Oh, it had to be 30.
in the stands
30,
during the All-Star experience, watching them do their training. There was a player showcase. I don't remember the exact wording of it. Then we had the home run derby, and then we had the All-Star game itself, which was a lot of fun. Dodd Stadium really filled up for that, and it was the best on best, and there were guys hitting mid 90s, and I think the adrenaline rush of that game, it was pretty awesome to see. Like guys like AJ Solder that were playing in that game, and
He's playing Cape Cod now, right?
yeah, he's in the Cape League right now, and Jack Oman, who's on the team right now, he's not pitching this summer, but he can throw 96, 97 for Yale. So there's some talented baseball players, and the Sea Unicorns have had 3 guys since they opened up in 2021, signed a professional baseball contracts with MLB teams. The latest one was Kalen Culpepper. He was a first-round pick of the Minnesota Twins last season, and now he's playing, I think, high A for Minnesota. So, yeah, you never know. The journey starts here.
Ben Rice.
Yeah.
Louis Guerrero for the Red Sox.
Right.
These are futures league players. So it happens. So when people don't, there are probably there are quite a few kids that make it out of the futures league into the major league system. Whether they make it all the way to the show or not, that's who knows. But for people to say, "Oh, we're not affiliated," yes, they are. They're affiliated because scouts come and they're watching guys like him, and they're watching other players from other teams and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just because they don't have the banner, of being affiliated, that doesn't mean squat. And I think that's the part of the message that has to be relayed.
Yeah, 100%.
What do you think about that, Chuck?
I think we understand it. Like, everyone on this team is pretty much here for a reason. Like, first day there, we got together as a team. Like, we did like a practice day, intro day, and Lee sat us down and told us the expectations, and no one was kind of like spooked by anything. Everyone kind of knows why they're here. And it's not weird when we go out there and like we play against guys who are really good, and it's kind of just normal. Like, sometimes we'll be in the dugout and like we'll hear that like certain colleges are there or watching players. Like, we all understand that that's what's going on. Like, we're very aware of that, I would say, and we're thankful that we're here because it's an opportunity. It's a blessing. Not every summer league is like that. That's why this is a special league. Truly is.
It is a special league. I agree with you.
We get a lot of publicity and a lot of eyes on us, so definitely is. It's a blessing to be in this situation.
Well, like for example, you get a lot of eyes on us. Really, a lot of it's because of this guy right here, who supports us at Dodd Stadium, and the Sea Unicorns. So, I thank you a lot for that, Matt. He's a local business guy. Does very, very well, but he's also very interested. I can tell because I work with him on I see him at least a few times a week. I don't see every day, but we work in the same building. But he's very curious, and about the community and how the community is doing at the whole. This is one guy I've never seen going, "Oh, I wonder how much I'm going to make today." No, he's always very, very conscious of community, and I got a feeling that's one of the reasons why you're backing up the Sea Unicorns here.
Oh, absolutely,
and stuff like that.
Absolutely. It's it's great for kids to go see. It's a nice family event.
Yep.
I really think City of Norwich probably should be pushing it more as well. And
I
it's
think
a great thing for the city.
I'm going to be the first one to say I think the city of Norwich has failed.
Yeah.
Dodd Stadium. Absolutely 100%. There are so many things they could do there to bring revenue in. I know Lee and Casey, they are busting their ass. Lee and his son are the ones that take care of the field.
Yep.
And that field looks great. And it's because of those 2 guys. And he's also running a team.
Yeah.
And it's phenomenal what these people are doing.
Right.
Just to keep things going. Isn't that enough?
Yeah, it's.
Where are you going to go, Adam? Where are you going to go? Dodd Stadium shuts down. What are you going to do for family fun in Norwich? Let's go to the new fire department. Let's see what's happening there.
Exactly. Yeah, but no, I think that's a big part of why I wanted to come back. The front office staff, they care a lot, and that's a big part of it. Is we try and take care of one another, and it's the same for the guys. Everyone has each other's back, and see. It's not easy. It's 100 degrees outside. It feels like, but they're still out there making sure.
I know. I'm all burnt from
exactly.
yesterday.
Yeah,
you were out there yesterday, huh?
Yeah, I was on third base. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully that turns into a tan, right? But hopefully hopefully, I think it's special.
Not me.
Like,
I'm as Polish gets, man. I'm skinny white. Well, skinny.
but yeah, it's a small front office, and it takes a lot to drive the boat, really.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing about minor league baseball. It's not a large front office staff. Everyone,
But it's a team within a team.
exactly. It's all hands on deck, and everyone has to be all aboard, or you're going to fall off the boat. So we want the ship to run, and it takes everybody. And I hope the city can see that from maybe not being there at every game or whatever, but to understand that it's family entertainment for younger kids. And I think that has to be the main attraction and selling point is you want the families growing up in this area to be able to bring their kids there, bring their families there, and be like, you know what, maybe one day I get to play baseball here and call this place home, or for guys that when Kalen Culpepper played there in 2022, just using a Sea Unicorns example, be like, oh, when I was like 5-6 years old, I saw a kid that was 19, 20 years old. 2 years later, after he's playing with the Sea Unicorns, he was drafted in the first round of Major League Baseball. I was there for that. Or when it was the Yankees affiliate or the Giants affiliate, Madison Bumgarner pitched there, Sergio Romo, and then you have guys like Alfonso Soriano. You can be like, we were home to those guys. Major League Baseball.
But they weren't anybody when they were playing there.
That's right.
I mean, but I'm not talking about rehab starts and stuff like that.
Yep.
I'm talking about nobody knows who they are.
Exactly.
So don't tell me, it's because they're the freaking Yankees. No.
They weren't on the Yankees.
No.
Or like Tarek Skubal, he's now the ace of the Tigers, but no one knew that when he was 18, 19 years old, when he was pitching for the Connecticut Tigers. It's not like, I'm going to the ballpark to watch Tarek Skubal pitch today. Maybe he pans out. Maybe he doesn't. More times than not, like
he panned out.
He panned out well. He's the city of Detroit's fallen in love with him, but he certainly panned out. But
he's the ace.
But no one's gonna go and tell you, you're an 18 or 19-year-old kid. You're gonna go be the ace of the New York Yankees or the Detroit Tigers. There's still a lot of work to be done, but
they're putting more money into him more so than they did back in the Verlander or Jack Morris days.
I hope they do.
Which is probably before you were born.
Yeah,
sorry.
Well, I hope they do. He's the ace of their staff.
Yeah.
He's a workhorse. So I hope they do. And at the end of the day, Norwich was where it began for him when it was short season single A baseball, whatever it is, or the future guys from Norwich that end up getting MLB consideration. At the end of the day, they called Norwich home at one point, and for their careers, the MLB ran through Norwich, as I like to call it. Maybe you don't know it while you're on the mound pitching in that outing, but you look back at it 5-7 years down the line, once you start to make it, you're like, wow, like the journey of what it took for any guy. Like they played in middle of nowhere towns where maybe the ballpark wasn't filled up, but at the end of the day, their career journey started somewhere in a small town where it wasn't New York City.
Baseball. It's not just baseball, it's every sport. Even I'm a big pro wrestling guy.
Yeah.
Even these guys you see on like Monday Night Raw on USA or Netflix now or whatever. These guys started in little towns. I remember Hulk Hogan in a match at Old Saybrook High School.
Really?
Yeah. I was a little fat kid back then, and I'm serious. I mean, he was just starting out. He wasn't always. So it's like any other place. You all start at the bottom somewhere.
Yep.
So I have some great marketing ideas.
Let's hear some.
Especially for food. You ready?
Let's hear it.
I think you should have unicorn on the cob.
There we go.
No?
The corns.
Unicorn. I think there should be a new mascot. Honestly, do you ever watch? You remember Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
Yeah.
And then the minor guy that had a pickaxe and go nothing. Right? What was his name?
Oh, fuck, if I can remember his name.
Yukon Cornelius. Unicorn.
Oh, there you go.
Cornelius.
I'm all about the mascots, but the hard part is the price of those costumes. Is they're not the most affordable things, but I think it's a great attraction to come to the ballpark and you watch the mascot do his crazy act in between innings. I'm all for it, but I know that some of those mascot costumes aren't the easiest thing to get your hands on.
I think probably something that wouldn't be family friendly, but you know those corn nuts that you get, right? You call them unicorn nuts. I don't know. That might be a little weird for people. Would you buy unicorn nuts? I don't know.
I don't get to make the decision on that. I don't think we're doing that one.
Come
but,
on, Adam. You have an idea. You have a thought. You can say, I don't want to shit. Don't tell Lee that. So, Matt, just from we're going to wind it down here, but I wanted to. Like you had said, it's a stopgap to sell the stadium. I'm not a Norwich taxpayer,
Right.
myself personally, and actually, the guy that I was having this little argument with was actually a friend of mine. Was like, "Are you a Norwich taxpayer?" And I said, "Why do I have to be a Norwich taxpayer to have an idea or have an
Right.
opinion?
Have an opinion.
Or to be some sort of be involved with something or be passionately involved with something."
Right.
You said it's a stopgap to sell Dodd Stadium. I would listen to someone like you being as successful as you are, especially in the business that you're in.
Yep.
Why would you say that this is a stopgap?
Because what are you doing? You're just basically taking a capital, an asset, and getting rid of it. And now you no longer have that asset. What are you going to do later on when you need that money again? At the end of the day, you're still going to need that money.
Exactly.
You're still going to need that money.
What's going to happen next year?
Whether they use that for 5 years or 10 years, it's a temporary fix. That's not going to work.
Sorry.
I think that'd be the last thing I'd probably cut, just because it should be good. It's an asset
that they could roll into, some profitability.
Yeah.
Because they can do things with it. As a player, what would you suggest? From a player standpoint, not really. I mean, I don't know what your business acumen is or anything like that, but you obviously enjoy playing at Dodd Stadium. What would be a message that you would send? And I know you got to kind of be careful because you play for the team and nobody knows really what's going on with it. But
well, my first thought would be hopefully someone up in the box wins the lottery and they can just buy it. But if that doesn't happen, I hope the city of Norwich just thinks about it again, puts more into it, and realizes that it definitely is something for the community to rally around. And if they sold the stadium, they would lose that. So I hope they keep that in mind when they make these decisions. But ultimately, I hope the stadium stays because it has a special place in my heart, definitely just playing here this summer. So I know a lot of people could say the same, and a lot of people in Norwich could say the same. So it would just be a tragedy and a shame if they got rid of it.
What about Miles Prentice? Would he buy it?
Miles Prentice?
Yeah.
That I don't know. That I don't know.
But indirectly
I know,
work for him. Maybe not really, but I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Streaming the games, but
yeah,
I
don't know. Yeah, he's an awesome guy, and we're grateful that he owns the Norwich Sea Unicorns. He's been a very successful businessman, but I also think it's more about when baseball season ends that ballpark should still be an attraction after the season. You can hold community events at the ballpark, and it's a place where the community can gather, and maybe you host other events there after the season where it's still driving money for you. It shouldn't be, baseball season ended, like they just wrapped it up in August. We're not going to do anything with it for the next 10 months or whatever it is. That should absolutely not be the case. It should be continuous. We're holding a city council meeting here every Wednesday, whatever it is. I'm just making stuff up, but whatever it is, like you should want to be doing stuff at the ballpark. It's a great venue. It has a lot to offer. You can use the luxury suites upstairs and hold business meetings up there and have birthday parties there. So there's always something that you can do there. Maybe it's not a baseball
family
game.
outings, corporate outings.
Maybe you have a sleepover at Dodd Stadium like they do in Pensacola, right? And you get to rent the ballpark out and have a sleepover there, play wiffle ball on the baseball field, whatever it is. And you're continuously making money off the ballpark being there, and it should never end after baseball season ends. Maybe you have some winter sports stuff going on there, but I think there's always something that can be hosted there.
Going.
Yeah, Casey does a great job with the disc golf, but there's always
nice hockey rink.
Exactly. Put an outdoor rink there and have a winter classic there for
Fenway does it.
Right.
Fenway they have a Bruins game every single year.
Yeah.
So there's
concerts.
There's been the Beach Boys had concerts there, I think in the 90s, I want to say. So you can always have concerts there. I know it gets a little bit colder in the wintertime. Maybe you put an outdoor rink up there, and people will pay whatever it is admission to get there, rent the skates, and you're under the Christmas lights, whatever, and
Yeah.
you got
Right,
Santa
right.
Claus. So you can always do something there, but you have to invest in the ballpark. It's more than just a baseball stadium. And I think the city can quickly recognize that and be like, you know what, we can host some business meetings here and invite some other people here for some group outings and continue to upgrade the ballpark. If they just invested in themselves to upgrade it beyond what the Norwich Sea Unicorns are doing, it would for sure be the greatest summer collegiate baseball venue because of its days in Double-A baseball is meant to host
Yeah.
affiliated minor league baseball. So I think the possibilities are endless, and I hope they recognize it. And like you said, it's just a stopgap. It's not going to solve the problem. It's not the end solution, and I hope they understand that and they just continue to invest in it, and more business people find the possibilities that it has to really offer.
And
Yeah.
I even go back to the pro because I'm a big pro wrestling guy.
You could wrestle there, right?
You know what? There are a bunch of independents that have large names. That are TV names. They could do a show, and I'm telling you, and I know. I guess they dabbled in it a couple of times, a few years. I think Lee was telling me, but maybe get in a more reputable company because I guess maybe there was some problems.
Who do you book that with? Is it Norwich or is it you guys?
To book outings,
A private event.
it's all through Dodd Stadium. So I think it's partially through us because like when we answer the calls there, it's like, hey, it's Adam with the Norwich Sea Unicorns in Dodd Stadium or whatever. Like when it's Lee. So I know that Lee and I know that Casey are the ones that would answer the phones, and they're in charge of scheduling it. So I guess
and Heather.
And Heather, yeah, I don't want to forget her. So
Yeah.
Heather, Chris, Casey, Lee, it's all through them. And I know obviously Lee's the general manager, but they're the ones that answer the phones, and they're the ones that mark into the calendars the events.
Okay.
And then, yeah, so it's not really like through the city directly because the Norwich Sea Unicorns
they're renting the facility.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like Dodd Stadium is really their home.
No.
So, yeah, it's yes, we are the Norwich Sea Unicorns, but it's also Dodd Stadium is our home. So I don't know all the
Sea Unicorns really are. They rent
From
the stadium
Norwich.
from the town. The city
Right,
of Norwich,
right, yeah. Like it's not owned. Like the ballpark isn't owned by
Yeah.
the Sea Unicorns. It's owned by the city of Norwich. I know that much. I don't know exactly how some of all the business stuff is handled, but I know that Lee and Casey and Heather, they have a big say in booking events during the off season and things like that. So if you were to call the ballpark and you said,
And
hey,
I'm just spitballing things,
Yeah.
because I am really I'm very pleased with the working relationship that I have with Lee.
Yeah.
Over there, and he's really good to us. So,
No,
and
he's
I
been
know
awesome.
if anybody wants to make that work over there, it's him.
yeah, it all
100%.
starts and it all ends with him. But for the same matter, Heather, who's the assistant GM, Casey,
He's
like
been there since day one.
Yeah, that's an awesome story.
Yeah.
Growing up as a kid, she was working there, and I think that's like an awesome, special story as well. But I think, it starts within that front office, and if you give them a call, they certainly can steer you in the right direction because it's more than just about the baseball that ends when baseball season ends. The ballpark is still alive and well, and there's plenty of things that I certainly think can be happening there, and I hope the city sees that. But more importantly, I think it'd be awesome if you hosted a Winter Classic event for hockey or a concert there in the wintertime, or you put up a skating rink or whatever it is where you're using the ballpark and people are continuing to come in there, and you have Santa Claus come up, and I'm just like thinking
There's
out
a
loud
bunch
here,
of
but
things you can do.
but you put
The
up the
concourse is
Yeah.
perfect for like a big farmer's market.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody parks, they come in. They just go.
But I'm just thinking, right, since you get the snow here in Connecticut and you put up the Christmas lights and you do a big thing during Christmas time, and even like if you put a pumpkin patch in there during Halloween and you do some stuff with that, and you do a little treasure hunt sort of thing with during a Halloween season. So I don't know. You
There's a
maybe
million
just
things you can
just
do.
use the calendar year
Yeah.
and figure out stuff, or maybe you host a Thanksgiving event at the ballpark and you're having a feast over there. But yeah, I'm just thinking
Baked
out.
unicorn.
There you go.
Unicorn.
Run.
Unicorn.
Yeah, but no, I think
It's a
little
myth.
stuff.
It's a myth.
I think little stuff like that. I don't know. I definitely would want to be a part of that and see something, just that ballpark come to life.
Yeah, you're out of school now. You could hang.
Exactly. Yeah.
Before you go start working for ESPN and stuff, because this kid's gonna make it, man. I'm telling you right now. He's very good. You're young. You're gonna find a home, and you're gonna be there for a long time until somebody plucks you,
Thank you.
for something else.
Yeah, well, but I can always look back and say that my journey started in Norwich. Same for any of the players.
A lot of the players too.
And I think that's like a special thing for me. I mean, that press box, I mean, all the broadcasters that were in there before me, which I think is like special, just seeing like the tradition there. But I mean, that's a professional press box. All that room that I have to lay out all my
stuff.
We
fill it up, though.
we do a good job in there.
Fill it up.
But no, it's awesome, and it's definitely the nicest press box.
Yeah.
I want to say in this league. I know I'm biased, but I think it is, and I think it's right up there with some other minor league press boxes. Just how we have everything in house there, how we produce everything. Like Nick is right there, right next to me, producing it in real time.
Yep.
He's on a live phone call with you. He's on a phone call with Noel, our other camera operator. So everything is like happening right there in that ballpark. So it's pretty cool how everything is put together. And
Oops.
But no, sorry about that. But no, we do. Oh, it doesn't want me to talk. But
you got to put the other side over your ear.
There we go.
But
there we go. Sorry about that little
It's all
technical
right.
difficulties. But
actually, I want to ask you before, because we have to wrap it up.
yeah.
All right.
Like, we're not quite halfway through this year. If you were to say to something on the street, you're just walking down, and some kid comes up to you with their parent and they says, "Hey, aren't you one of the Norwich Sea Unicorns?" And then they ask you for an autograph, and yeah, sure, and everything. What would, if they asked you, or if somebody else said, "Hey, what would you say to somebody about the organization that may entice them to come to a ball game?" From a player's standpoint.
Like kind of trying to sell them on like the ball game itself,
Well,
or
not even sell them, just be honest. Like why would they want to come?
all right, I see the question. I mean, what I could say from like the inside, like being like behind the scenes, like obviously I'm like with Plager and like KC, who you talked about, Lee. Like I'm around these people every single day of the week, and you can see like the passion from the people who work here and the players. So like it's gonna be a very authentic experience. Like everyone making this thing work, from the players to all the people who make the stadium run, Bruce, who helps us out in the clubhouse. Like everyone really cares about this thing. So there's just a lot of passion, and you're going to see that when you come to a game, because when we win, like it is like the best time after the game. Like, yeah, like everyone's just so happy to like be there when things are working out. And even when they're not, we're together. So it's a very cohesive group. Like something that's different from college ball to summer ball is like, I feel very connected with all the people who work behind the scenes, like Plager. Guy calls me up on the phone. We text all the time. Same with Casey, everyone who works there. So it's really just like a family is the one word I would use to describe it. It's a family. And when you're come in as a fan, you're going to feel like you're a part of that family. So that's why you should come out to a Norwich Unicorns game and watch us win 3 in a row this summer.
Good. I will tell you, during one of the times the Bees were there, you guys scored a run, I got them on camera. I don't know if Nick moved to it. They had 3 New Britain Bees
doing our
players.
thing.
You got to run, and they're doing this.
It's
classic.
Their players are doing it when we scored or when they scored?
Yeah, no. When the Sea Unicorns scored,
That's awesome.
and I just looked and I grinned, and they just looked over and I said, "That is just really good sportsmanship, man."
Yeah,
the song is
and
just,
they said, "Yeah, that's
it's
it."
just the song is just too addictive.
Great song.
I don't even want to tell you what the name of the song is. Do you know what the name of the song
I
is?
don't.
I will tell you after. But anyway, thank you very much, Adam. We'll see you again next month. We'll see you tomorrow, actually.
Yeah. Game day. Watch the game.
tomorrow.
Show up to the game. How about this? You can show up to the game. You can listen to us call the game. A little 2-for-1. But, yeah, Vermont's coming to town. It's always fun when we play the Lake Monsters. But, yeah, it's a lot of fun, and glad that we get to make it happen all summer.
Got it. Chuck, thank you very much. I
Thank you
appreciate
for
you
having
coming
me.
down.
Appreciate
we'll see you
it.
and of course, Matt Lizzie from Capital Property Group in Paragon, one of the big supporters at Dodd Stadium for us this year. And let's put his, I'm going to get your logo up there real quick, as well, because of course I'm like way behind stuff. And there you go. Capital Property Group LLC. And you can find you on Facebook and mycapitalteam.com. Correct.
Correct.
That's right.
That's it.
We'll see you at Dodd this week. Are
Is
you
it
coming
this week? You never confirmed.
This week or next week? Anyway, but you'll be
Confirm,
in a
yeah.
skybox, and
Yep.
I think you're throwing out the first pitch that game too.
Is that the one? So I got to find
Well,
someone to throw the pitch?
You're doing
Or
it.
you want me to throw it?
You and Bobby Business, man.
I haven't thrown that ball since I was
Bring a golf ball.
like
Just do that.
13, 14.
How fun would it be? You just hit the golf ball right to the
Can we
home
do
plate.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Let's
We'll
do
hit
that.
I might be able to get my son to do that.
A little putting.
A little chip it right in there.
That's all we need.
It'll give you guys a nice flop shot.
Also, want to thank Stilly's Automotive in Lisbon, also sponsors to the Norwich Sea Unicorns, as well as Eastern Connecticut Savings Bank, which is not going to be Eastern Connecticut Savings Bank for much longer. They are going to be Ascend Bank. So we'll talk about it then. Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow morning on our show on SNSN The Morning Pod with Wayne, and Kathy will be with me. And then tomorrow afternoon, 6:30 game time with play-by-player Adam Plager calling the shots from Dodd